Hello everyone, here I am in another video, and now this is the first video after our rebrand on the channel. And well, I didn't actually prepare actual video for the first one, but of course in the next ones there will be much more interesting themes and all. But I thought the best way first to start this new era of this channel, of course, it is through reflection, through time to think about why am I doing this? And no, it won't be the same video as the previous one, but what what kind of thoughts made me take the decision, and I really like to share with you. And this is actually a conversation I have with my best friend, and it was such an important conversation. We've got so many insights from the conversation that I really wanted to share with you all the things that we thought about while we were talking about it, okay? So this is why I'm making this video, and this will be the first video after our rebrand, okay? And our conversation basically was about the importance of human to study and to work, especially study. Because of course work is important and I will talk about it in the future, but today I would like to focus more on the studies because study is the foundation for you to work. If you want to work, you have to know about something. Because if you want to work, you have to offer the society some skill you have, and the only way for you to learn new skills is through study. Okay, but the kind of study I want to talk about today is not actually only skill based studies. No, it's studies in general. Okay, and to start with this kind of conversation, I like to talk the difference between study and hobby, because many people think that this is the same thing. Basically, okay, I'm studying painting, I'm studying drawing, and of course, all those things are important. I'm studying um sewing and all. This is really important. But as I said, you're learning a skill, yeah, but I'm not actually focusing on skill things today, but actually things that will help you to think and have your own way of thinking, your own thoughts. Because I see many women out there, they don't think by themselves. They always wait from someone to tell them how they should think. So for example, basically in my environment, they most part of the ladies I know, they think what their husband think because they wait from their husbands to say how they should think, in whom they should vote, and what kind of political views they should support and all. And many people can understand how problematic it is. How problematic it is for you to wait for someone to tell you how you should think. And that's why I'm talking about studies here. Is those kind of studies I'm talking about. Not only skill, not only hobbies in general. No, I'm talking about study. You know about something. Because as I said, knowledge is the only thing nobody can take from you. People can take our money, people can take our people can take our things, your stuff, and all, but your knowledge, the things that you've learned through your life, it will be with you forever. That's why it's so important for us women to study. Not that every man study, but as I said in the previous video, many guys are curious. And unfortunately, I don't see many girls being as curious as they are. You got me. Basically, these guys, they walk with guys that likes to talk about it, and even though he's not very into those kind of things and all, eventually they will be interested in that because they have a friend that talks about it and all. But when you're a woman, basically most part of the environment don't want to talk about it, don't like it, and only repeat the opinions that they've heard from their parents, from their actually from their fathers, from their husbands. And I'm really sad because I was a girl very into politics, for example. Of course, this is not only about politics, it can be about everything. But I'll be talking about it because it is a personal experience that I've had through my teenage. I was very interested in politics. I really liked it, and I'm really thankful for being interested on that because everyone makes part of politics. You're like it or not, you're a part of this. And if you're only repeating what your parent, what your husband is telling you to say, you're being dumb. Basically, you're being dumb. It's really sad that you wait for someone to tell you how you should think. And along with what I was saying, I was very interested in politics when I was a teenager, and most part of my friends, my female friends, they didn't like it. They weren't interested in it, and because of that, I only had guys to talk about it. That's why even today, most part of my friends are guys because they want to talk about it. While most part of my female friends, they weren't even able to talk about it, you know, and they were only interested on that when their boyfriends were interested on that as well. They didn't want to read about it. They didn't want to be into what was happening back then. It was especially in pandemic, and they weren't aware of what was happening in the world, and they only repeat what media said. They only repeat what the boyfriend said, that parents said, and I was like, man, you should study about it. It is really important for you to know how to talk about it because there will be people who knows how to talk about it. And it's so sad when you're in a circle where people are talking about something and you're that, man, I don't have any idea what they're talking about. And you're not even interested in knowing what they're talking about. And that's what I see many girls, many women up there doing. They see what they don't know and they don't want to learn about it. I see a quote some days earlier, I don't remember exactly when, and this quote said something like that. I will not say I can. I'll say I'll learn. And this is what you should do. This is what you should do. If you don't know about something, if you don't know how to do something, you shouldn't say, "Oh, I don't know about it. I shouldn't talk about it because I don't know. Oh, I'm not interested in those things." You should say, "I don't know about it. Actually, I don't know about it, but I'll learn. I'll learn, and the next time you've seen me, I'll be sharing my opinions. I'll be talking with you about it and all." That's what you should do. And I don't see girls doing that. And I'm not saying that, oh, we should do that because men do that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, unfortunately, we live in a society where women in general are not taken seriously. And you have to prove that wrong about you. Because they will have a previous image of you, especially if you have a good appearance. They basically have the idea that you're dumb because you're pretty. This is real. This is real. Of course, we have pretty privilege. This is not a lie. But also, girls who are pretty in general, girls who care about appearance in general, they are not taken seriously because they say you're always into your appearance, so you don't think. And you have to prove them. No, this is not true. I love the quote. I really love this quote. Beauty with a brand. This is in my wallpaper on my phone. Beauty with brand. This is so important for you to have this in your mind. I don't have to be ugly to be smart, but I have to be smart being pretty, you know? And many girls, they can understand that you can be buff. They think you should choose one, or they only say, okay, I'm smart. So I don't care so much about my appearance. I'm not very into makeup, because I'm busy studying. This is not actually the kind of thought I want you to have. No. I want you to take care of your appearance. I want you to be aware of what you can improve on your physical appearance. This is important. We live in a world where appearance is important. And I can't deny it. I can't deny it. I can say that because I passed through that. I was an ugly child. And once I started to be more aware of how I look, people started to treat me better. This is not a lie. This is actually a truth. But you cannot only think about your appearance and not think about your studies. Because as I said, if you look pretty, people won't take you seriously. But you have to prove them that you are taken seriously, that you study, that you're smart, and that you know how to talk about it, that you know how to talk about politics, that you know how to opinate about those things that are happening. Even though you don't know everything, you have to be aware. You have to be able to share opinion about it. So, for example, healthcare. For example, I'm not a specialist in health. I'm actually not very into biology and all those things, but I know how to opinate about it. And when I don't know about something, I will, in the right moment, search about it and learn what I don't know. That's what this is the kind of mindset that you should have. You have to say, okay, I don't know about everything, but you have to be curious. And that's what I don't see many girls being. They're not curious. They're not curious about what is happening. And I'm not saying that what you like are dumb things. No, you should have the right to learn about what you like. Me, for example, I love to spare some times to learn about things I like. But you have to understand that in the real world, you have also to be aware about things that everyone knows. No, as I said, politics, you have to know the basics of math. It's so sad to see girls who can't even do a simple equation, because you're not interested in knowing about it, you know? So girls who don't understand the basic things of the world, the simple curiosities, unfortunately, most part of guys knows about it. As I said, because they are circulated by guys who knows about it and they heard about it. They're into about it. But us girls, unfortunately, most part of times we only talk about things that they're cool, they're nice. And I love to talk about those things. But you have to understand that the same way we talk about those things, we have to talk about important things as well. You have to read. And that you have to read about things you don't like. But you have to be aware of that. You have to be an intellectual. Because as I said, if you don't think by yourself, someone will teach you how to think. This is really dangerous. And many girls are not aware of how dangerous it is for you to don't be able to think by yourself. And it makes you so easy to be manipulated. So easy to support things you should never support. To defend some kind of ideas that are against you. I've seen many people doing that because they're following the kind of thoughts that they think they should follow because they are not able to think by themselves. I've seen many people doing that. And you have to understand who you are in society. Of course, I'm not creating those kind of fights that I hate, those kind of sex war, where man against woman. No, I'm not talking about it. Actually, I'm really not talking about it. But I'm saying that we live in a society that we are different. We are different. We're all human beings, but we're not the same. And you have to understand your position as a woman in society. Even though, you are, like you support the same rights for both sets. I understand, I respect that, but you have to understand that in real life it doesn't happen. And because of that, for you to support the right things that you need as a woman in society. You have to understand your place as a woman in society. And for you to understand that, you have to study. You have to study philosophy. You have to study sociology. You have to study politics. You have to study the kind of ideas that are supported by politics and all. Because sometimes you see a guy who are running for president, for example, and he says he's a liberal, and you don't even know what's that. And you ask to your father what is liberal, and he will explain you what he understand about it, and for you it is enough. No, it is not enough. You have to read. You have to read the founders of this kind of ideas, the greatest names of this kind of ideas. You cannot be satisfied with what people tell you. And that's what we girls, that's what we should do. And I don't see many girls doing that. And that's why I've seen, it's so sad to see even old ladies supporting ridiculous things because they don't want to study. They don't want to go there, search about it. No, they want to spend the whole time on the internet learning with a man what they should think. And no, I'm not saying the problem is not the man, okay? But they only want to hear what they think a man in their lives would like them to support. And it can be any kind of idea. It's not only conservative, liberalism, all this kind of ideas. There are some ladies there are like that, unfortunately. They only say what they think would please a man. And girl, you cannot be like that. In 2025, we have to change this. We are the new generation. We Gen Z, we are the new generation. We have to study. We have to go there, search about things. We have to read, not only be satisfied with a YouTube video, not only be satisfied with a TikTok video, even worse, a TikTok video, because it's really short for you to understand something. You have to really search, talk to professors, you have to read. You have to get recommendations of reading. You have to read articles. You have to read books. So, for example, you want to learn about liberalism. Again, I'm talking about liberalism, and I'm not even liberal. You have to read Adam Smith. You have to read um Locke. You have to read all those kind of authors, even the contemporary ones. But you have to be aware, how is this movement shared in society? You are, in favor of socialist. You have to read Marx. It is the foundation of new conservatism, um, new socialism. You have to read. You have to be aware of what the great leaders of socialism, of communism, um, thought. So study about Stalin life. Study about um I forgot the name of the guy right now, but I have to study about history. Many people don't study history right now, and I've seen so many people talking about old times on the internet, using as an example of how it was better in the past, but they barely know what they're talking about because they don't study. They only repeat ideas that they've heard. And that's why you should go to the fountain. You should go to the foundation of these thoughts, the foundation of this kind of ideas. And as I said, we as a woman, we have to create this curiosity of doing this. Because unfortunately, it is not, the society do not support us to learn about it. Most part of the time, people don't try to motivate us to study about it. They only say, okay, you're a woman, you're married anyway, you get you get married anyway, so it won't change. You don't have to study because at the end of the day, you can marry a smart man, you can marry a rich man. So it is not so important for you. And I'm here to say no. It is important. You should study. And when I say study, Not exactly. I'm not exactly talking about going to college. Of course, going to college is important. If you want to do that, do that. If you think it is the right choice, if you think you can pay for that, because I know in many countries it is ridiculously expensive. But if you're able to pay this, if you want it, if you want to build a career on that, go to college, girl. Go there. But college, it is not. College is not the only place you learn things. Because I see many people say, okay, I went to college, so it is enough. But I've seen many dumb people with college degrees. I see many dumb people with master's degrees because, not because they're dumb, because they're not dumb, but they're ignorant. Because don't matter if you go to college, if you got a degree, if you don't study by yourself. Because there in the college, they will teach you what you have to know to follow a career, to follow a path. But the studies are greater than the career you're following. There are many things you should know, even though it's not actually related to the career you want to follow, you know? So, for example, I'm a data scientist. It doesn't have anything to politics, but I'm aware of that because I know it is important. Even though the career I have is about technology and spreadsheets and all, I know that I should be aware of what is happening in the world because, for example, I'm a data science. I can work on a business about stocks, for example, and I have to be aware what is happening in the investment world and how the some um some actions the president takes influences the way the the oh my god the stonks are happening, I'm trying to explain it. I don't know if I did it right because I forget the main word to do this example, but I'll remember later, and I will be very sad because I didn't remember in the video. But okay, so for example, I work in the health field. I'm a nurse, and um the current president took an action that says they will limited the amount of vaccines they send to the hospitals. Of course, it will affect my job, and many people are not aware of how those things affect our jobs because they only care about what they learn on college. And as I said, not that college is not enough, but they will teach you how to follow a career. But you have to be aware of other things. You have to be curious. You have to study. You have to learn a new language. You cannot be limited to your native language. You have to learn English. You have to learn Spanish. You have to learn French. I don't know. Learn anything you want. But you have to know. You have to be curious. You have to expand your skills and your knowledge to the maximum of things you have to learn. You have to be really aware of the basics. You have to write rightly. You have to speak correctly. You have to be aware of what's happening in the world, how those things are happens, how it affects our lives. All those things you have to be aware. And as I said, unfortunately, I don't see girls being into those things. And you don't have to give up on things you like to learn about those things. No, you can do both. You should only, like, um, share your spare time, know how to organize a time where you can learn all those things, and it don't even take so much of your day, so for example, read the news about something you're interested in. Read every day the new news on BBC, on CNN. I don't know, but be aware of what is happening in the world. You know, if you see something you do know about on the news, search about it. We have the internet. I don't know how people can be so dumb when you have a powerful tool like internet to learn anything we want. I'm so sad that it is happening to people, that as the internet grows, our intelligence only decreases. And that's why I'm saying that. Girls, I want you to think by yourselves. I want you to be powerful. I want you to be smart. I don't want to see you expecting from you how you should think, how you should do things, because you're not able to do that and you're lazy to learn. Let's stop being lazy and let's start being curious. And that's what I will be doing from now on in this channel. Share interesting things that we can learn together, and how we can manage to do those things, how we can organize our time to find time to learn anything we have, to learn anything we want. And as I said, be curious. Oh, but I don't like those things. Sometimes you have to like things you don't like and you can do anything about it. But when you don't do that, there will be someone who does that, and this person will teach you how you should think, how you should do things. And as you are not able to do this by yourself, you're following their paths, even though this person is not even so smart. So be aware of those things. I think everyone in the previous years of life, they didn't know how to think by themselves. Remember when you were a child, you only repeat what your parents said. And even though your parents were wrong, you take their opinion so seriously. But as we grow up, you shouldn't depend on our parents to think. We should search. We should go, go. We should s- do things by ourselves and don't wait from our parents, from our husbands, from our friends to say what we should think, because you can't do that by ourselves. So this is the video. I'm sorry because it is not so organized. As I said, this is the first video. I only wanted to share with you some thoughts I had while talking to my friend back then, and how this kind of thoughts will be the foundation from the next videos that I'll be uploading here. So bye. Hope you subscribe, comment, and like, okay? And that's it. To the next video.